Good morning, everybody. Okay, so it is morning here for me. I don't know what time it is when you're watching this video, but it is about 9 a.m. right now. Shabbat was yesterday, it ended last night, and then tonight begins Shavuot. Okay, so I have some work to do. I did a little bit of cleaning up last night, not a ton. So I've got some major cleaning up to do in the kitchen and stuff today. I want to run the vacuum over the floors again. I just did it very quickly last night just to get the crumbs off the floor from our third meal, our dinner last night. I also need to make a cheesecake. Okay, so getting a little bit of a late start to the morning today, and that is because I tried to kind of hang out in bed and sleep in. It was just like a rough night last night. Well, first of all, we're up really late last night. Shabbat ends very late now because we're getting into the warmer months, so the days are longer. And it was probably like 11 o'clock before I went to bed. And I was beat. I was exhausted. I fell asleep almost right away. My husband stayed up for a little while, taking care of making sure that my son's diabetes was okay. So since I went to bed really, really early, I heard the alarms going off at like 4 a.m. So I woke up and was dealing with really low blood sugar that my son had this morning and trying to he'll eat sugar in his sleep, which is kind of cool. So I was going in and giving him some sugar tabs this morning and adjusting his insulin and things like that. So thank God he's fine. He's still in there asleep. All my kids are still asleep. They're so exhausted from yesterday. We had friends over for lunch and we went to the park and then we had some friends over for dinner. It was just a lot of fun and friends and playing. So they're still exhausted. Even the dog's exhausted. The dog had a play date yesterday too. So yeah, tons of fun all around. But yeah, I really need to quit procrastinating now and start getting ready for Shavuot tonight. So Shavuot is a 2-day holiday. If you missed, I think it was my last video where I talked about what Shavuot is, you can hop back and listen to that and hear what Shavuot is all about. But for now, we're just gonna get ready for this to start. Okay, I should go clean the kitchen. All right, I'll go. Okay, yeah, so I did in fact stop procrastinating and I went into the kitchen to start cleaning up. So the night before, like I said, I had run the dishwasher, but that still needed to be emptied and there was still plenty of dishes that were out on the counters and towels to wash and things like that. Going into a 2-day Yom Tov, I want to make sure, a 2-day holiday, I want to make sure that the kitchen is clean, the house is clean, and everything is good to go so that I don't have to worry about that stuff during the holiday and there's just less for me to do and I can really just relax and enjoy it. So I started off by just kind of straightening up a little bit around the kitchen, putting a few things away before going in to empty the dishwasher. It was very full of dishes, it was jam-packed. So I had plenty to do as far as emptying the dishwasher was concerned. I did take a short break from the dishwasher before I reloaded it to refill our hot water urn. I grabbed some water that I had filtered. We have a water filter and I poured that in. That way we would have hot water during the Yom Tov for things like hot tea or to make coffee. It was almost empty from Shabbat, so I want to make sure that was full before tonight. We did not forget. Okay, so then I went back to loading the dishwasher, just the rest of the dishes from last night that did not fit, and it still didn't fit all of the dishes. I will have to run another load of dishes in the dishwasher later today, so I'm glad that I got to that this morning so that I will have time to do 2 loads. There were a few dishes to hand wash, mainly from breakfast this morning, so I went ahead and took care of that really quickly before going towards the laundry. There was a load of laundry from the dryer that I needed to pull out that I had put in much earlier this morning, so yeah, I kind of got to work on that really during the night. When I was up during the night trying to stay awake, taking care of my son, I went in and was doing laundry at 4 a.m. But that's all good, that's okay. I still had a few minutes before the washing machine was finished with what I had in there, so that was fine because the kids were starting to wake up and they wanted to have some bread with butter, so I sliced up the last of our leftover challah from the night before and put some butter on that. And then a few of the kids wanted to have it toasted, so I took care of that too and got them a nice little breakfast going. Before long, the kids wanted more, so I grabbed what was left of the bread, which was not much, and managed to get 2 more slices going out of that. So I toasted those and gave those to the kids as well. With the kids taken care of, I went back to the laundry, just I had washed a blanket, so I pulled that out, put that in the dryer, and then reloaded with some laundry that I had pulled aside already this morning. And while that was going on, the kids were just eating. They also had some cereal, and my son made some vegan sausage and I think he grabbed some leftover sweetbread from the fridge, which I believe is like lamb tonsils or something like that. I don't know, not really my thing, but my kids really seem to enjoy it. So the butter, by the way, was Smart Balance, I think, Earth Balance, Smart Balance, one of those two, but it's a vegan butter spread because we don't mix the dairy and the meat. I just say butter, but it's not really butter. Anyways, on with my morning. While the kids were there eating breakfast, I walked down to the printer to grab a couple of pieces of paper that I had printed last night. Okay, so I just grabbed these off the printer. It's just a couple things that I printed last night off of a couple of different websites. One I printed off of the Chabad website. I'll try to link to both of these in the description box below if I can still find them. But one is just a story of Shavuot. So that's something I'm going to stay up tonight and learn with the kids. And I'll go over that story of Shavuot with the kids. Just kind of the whole giving of the Torah, why we have this holiday with them. It's a great explanation here at a kid level, which is going to be fantastic. So the second one that I have is from the Aish website, and it is all about the 10 Commandments. So on Shavuot, we have this, unique opportunity to reconnect with the 10 Commandments. So I wanted to go through the 10 Commandments with the kids, and this was such a great resource because it lists each of the 10 Commandments and then explains it really well. Again, this is at like a kid level. It's meant to be done together as a family, and then has what some of them have like a little story time that helps kind of reinforce what we're talking about with the commandment, or it might have a discussion question or something like that, or a family activity, which might be another discussion question, or like a game that you can play together that will reinforce, again, like the whole concept of what each of the commandments are. So that's super neat, and I'm looking forward to doing that tonight. And many of the commandments have more than one of those things. So it might have like a family activity and a discussion question or something like that. So yeah, that's what I've got. I'm super stoked about these two resources. I think they're going to be great to help me with learning with the kids tonight. Just something really fun that we can do together. We'll have some engaging conversation and some great learning about Shavuot and our history and why we are celebrating this awesome holiday. Okay, so the kids are finishing up their breakfast and the sun is hiding behind rain clouds right now. It's supposed to basically rain all week, which is kind of a bummer. So there won't be any park or anything this afternoon, but that's okay. We will be okay without the park this week. But anyhow, that is basically what is going on here. So I think, yeah, I'll just chill out here for a minute while I wait for the kids to finish up breakfast. Then I'll go in there, clean up, and get started on that cheesecake. Okay, so my husband just got home from the store. He brought me some flowers for Shavuot. I'm so excited. So I will get those prepared here in a vase here in just a minute. In the meantime, the kids are so excited that my husband is home because I told them they had to wait till he got home to open their gifts for Shavuot. We like to get them a present for all of the holidays, just like one present for the holidays instead of, just like a ton of presents all at once or something like that. So they're super stoked to open their presents, and we'll be doing that now. Okay, so I had ordered the kids' gifts from online, and I put them in these cloth bags so that they would be wrapped. I'm not into throwaway gift wrap. I like these cloth bags. I made these a while back. Anyway, so they were so excited to open their gifts because they've seen him here for a couple of days. And my daughter went first, and we got her some bath bombs. She absolutely loves any kind of like bubble bath or bath bombs, anything like that. So she was beyond thrilled, and she was like, "Can I go take a bath now?" And I was like, "Go for it," And then my toddler opened his gift next with a little bit of help from Big Brother, and he got some PJ Masks figures. I have purchased these for him before, and he absolutely loves them, but over the course of, I don't know, however long ago, maybe a year ago that I bought these for him, he had lost some of them, and the dog got hold of a couple. And so anyways, he was beyond thrilled to have new ones. He was so excited, and he's been in there playing with them ever since he opened this. And finally, my oldest son opened his present. He did not know what it was at first. He pulled it out and he was like, what is this? But once he unzipped it, he knew exactly what it was. I got him a camping chair just like mine. So it's a little backpacking camping chair that he can easily carry in his pack. And he was so excited. So yay, we did good on the gifts. Everybody is happy. Okay, so after all of the gift giving was complete, my toddler was off playing with his new PJ Masks characters. My daughter went and took a bath with one of her bath bombs, and my son set up his chair, and as you saw, he was sitting in it. He also chose to eat his lunch in the chair, and he's pretty much been hanging out there most of the rest of the afternoon. Okay, so it's like early to mid-afternoon at this point, and I have helped my daughter in the bath. I have cleaned up a little bit more of the kitchen. I've started another load of dishes in the dishwasher. I have brushed my daughter's hair, which is always a big deal. She has long curly hair, so it is always a challenge to get that done, but we got it done. We all had a little lunch. My husband made us some chicken while he worked on finishing cooking the rest of the food for Yom Tov, for the Shavuot holiday, which starts tonight. He did some more eggplants for the salads, and I think he threw together one more main dish that we needed threw together. It's like a whole thing with him. He's great. He's amazing in the kitchen. But yeah, so that's why I had to clean up a little bit more in the kitchen. And anyhow, so we've been kind of just trucking along throughout our day, and now I'm finally getting around to putting the flowers together that he purchased for me for the Shavuot holiday. So I'm pretty excited because we do have several bouquets of flowers going on the table. I have my flowers from Chabad, which he just got me on Friday, and then we still had some flowers left over from last Shabbat that still looked quite beautiful, some carnations and some daisies, so those are still in a vase. I just pulled out the flowers from last week that weren't good anymore and just kept the ones that were. So now I'm just putting together this arrangement, and then I'll have just tons of flowers on the table. And I'm just going to leave all the flowers on the table for tonight because that will be my flowers for Shavuot, and I'm very excited about how beautiful that will look. For the flowers for today, he just purchased several bouquets of just kind of like loose stems. So, some hydrangeas, some mums, something else that I don't know what they are, but they're really cool and kind of spiky and purple, and some variety of calla lilies, I suppose. I should know a lot more of these because I did used to work in a florist for several years. So yeah, I feel like I should know all the flower names, but I don't. But that's okay. So yeah, I'm just putting those together, and the little calla lilies, that's what I'm calling them. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. I'm just putting those in a smaller vase because they were just a little short to go in this arrangement. They would have looked really pretty in here, especially with a little bit of the purple on that spiky flower too, but there's just no way that was all gonna fit. Their stems were too short, and that's okay. So I just grabbed another small vase that we had and put the lilies in there. Well, I just realized that I have forgotten to introduce myself. My name is Hannah, and I am an Orthodox Jew, and I am a homeschooling mother of 3, and this is my channel, Jar of Fireflies. And I make videos all about my life as a Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 3. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you here again. After I finished with the flowers, I went into my son's room and I helped him clean up his room, with 2 little boys in there and lots of Legos and building blocks and cars and dinosaurs. It can get pretty messy, pretty bad, pretty quick. So we wanted to make it nice and neat going into the holiday, and I definitely wanted to give his floor a little vacuum since I knew that any friends he has over the next couple of days will be playing in his room, since outside is a muddy mess by this point. It's raining really steadily now, and the ground is very solidly wet. So yeah, no backyard play because there's too much mud out there this next few days. But anyways, after I finished helping him in his room, I got to work vacuuming the house. I had very quickly vacuumed in here in the dining room last night after Shabbat ended just to get all the crumbs off the floor, but I definitely didn't do a very thorough job, and I wanted to come in and do a real thorough job on that today. So yeah, vacuuming in the bedrooms and here in the dining room, as well as the living room and of course the kitchen. I'm sure I'll have to vacuum the kitchen again before the holiday starts tonight because we're still cooking in there, and I haven't even gotten to my cheesecake yet, but I did actually see a clock and it's only about 2 o'clock, so I'm doing good on time. I still have plenty of time to make the cheesecake. Basically, what I'm waiting on at this point is for my husband to be finished in the kitchen because he's been in and out with work and cooking. So he'll like leave the house and go to work and come back and cook, or leave the house and go to the store and come back and cook. So he's in there at the moment. So while he's doing that is why I am vacuuming, because I need a vacuum anyways. So I'm just getting done what I can while I'm waiting on him to be done in the kitchen, so that I can be in there working on my stuff. But I may just go in there pretty quick and start working on it anyways, because it does take a few hours to make and I want to make sure I get it done. Okay, clothes are in the dryer. My husband is done here in the kitchen. He's back taking a nap now so that he'll be able to stay up all night, and I'm gonna work on this cheesecake. It is 3 o'clock. So I've got plenty of time. It only takes a couple hours to cook once I get it in there. So yeah, let's just do this. I am doing, by the way, the Alton Brown cheesecake recipe, by the way. Super yum. So I highly recommend his recipe. I am doing it today without a crust because I don't have any more graham crackers and I'm not going to the store. I gave it to the kids yesterday for a snack, so that's okay. So in the same way that Shabbat just doesn't quite feel like Shabbat without Moroccan fish on Friday nights, Shavuot just doesn't quite feel like Shavuot without some cheesecake on the first day morning. So yeah, I'm glad that this is my job too, to make the cheesecake, because my husband does most of the cooking. So I love that I have something important to contribute food-wise to the holiday as well. This also happens to be my husband's absolute favorite dessert, and this particular recipe is his absolute favorite cheesecake recipe. So I'm always happy to make this for him, and I definitely don't do it very often just because it does take a couple hours, but I don't know. I feel like it's getting easier to make, and I might start making it more often. I feel like now I can just sort of throw it together as opposed to like being super duper careful with all the directions and stuff like that. I guess I'm just more comfortable with the recipe now. Do you guys do that? Do you get more comfortable with the recipe and then it's like seems so easy when it was one that used to be really hard for you? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyways, it really did not take me long at all to whip up this batter and get it into a pan and into the oven. So with that accomplished, I was feeling pretty relaxed. Like, this day is going really, really well. I don't know if it's because we just came out of Shabbat, or I don't know, maybe I'm just getting really good at preparing for holidays at this point in life. I don't know, but I was not feeling stressed. I was feeling very relaxed and had plenty of just downtime to be with the kids or rest on my own. So even though it was still pretty early, I went ahead and got the table set. Everybody was really occupied doing things. My son was working on some math on the computer, and my daughter was watching a show, and my toddler was playing with his toys. So everybody was good. My husband was still taking a nap, so I went ahead and got the table set. We are obviously, I mean, to me, it's obvious. I don't know. I'm sending a lot more places than just our family. But yes, obviously, we are having guests for dinner tonight. I'm very excited. We're having some friends over, and it'll be great to bring in the holiday with some company. We're only having company for 2 meals over the 4 meals of the holiday. And that's fine with me, too, because then we get some quiet family time as well. I was really loving having all of the flowers on the table. Just having, 4 vases filled with flowers all the way down the table just made it look so beautiful, and just definitely different than it does for a typical holiday meal or Shabbat meal at our home. So yeah, that was really fun. And there is the whole table all set up and ready to go. I had exactly enough plates for everybody, and I opted for paper napkins because I still haven't folded all of the laundry from Shabbat. But it is all clean. It's there in my room. It's ready to be folded, but it'll probably get folded next week. So anyways, there's the table. I'm excited. I'm ready for the holiday. After I finished setting the table, we heard the buzzer go off there on the oven. So I went in to pull out the cheesecake, oh so carefully because it was in a water bath, and got that out of there and safely into the refrigerator where it will chill overnight and be ready to eat tomorrow morning by my husband after a long night of learning. Okay, folks, we're about a little less than an hour away from candle lighting, so I think we'll go ahead and call the video a close. I am super excited. The holiday is almost here. It's gonna be fantastic. Okay, and yeah, I put on a floral dress because I was like, hey, flowers for Shavuot. So yeah, I figured this was good. And I'm even wearing jewelry today, which y'all know I don't wear jewelry very often. I did remember to put some on today, so I'm super stoked about that too. I'm just happy all around, and I hope you are too. All right, drop me a note there in the comments below and let me know what you thought of this video. I'd love to get that conversation going with you guys. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.